Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Litter Media Live. This is the Friday, March 8th edition. I'm Mike Smith, along with Aaron Glandon. Welcome. Good to have you with us today.
Hello, everyone.
We're sitting in the water of Yuctangi Park, or we were there a moment ago. If you were,
now we're flying above the trees.
For those of you that are listening in live on the radio, you can't see what we have on our Facebook Live backdrop. But we had some big cargo coming through town this morning. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But we start out with our weather, and it's going to turn wet this afternoon. Cloudy this morning, but rain likely this afternoon, and again for Saturday with a high of 60. Windy and cooler for Sunday with a high 44. My first ever night solo, 1979, when I signed on with the my first radio job. When I was giving the weather, all of my family was listening, and my weather forecast said, windy and coldy.
That's pretty good.
And 45 years later, I still get reminded. My daughter wasn't even thought of at the time, and she brings that up from time to time. The Lord always brings people into your life to humble you.
Yeah.
From time to time.
Sometimes it's just coldy.
It's windy and coldy out there. All right, show topics, sports, a lot to talk about here. We'll get to it. I've got to go out and speak to the middle school group at Paint Valley School here in about an hour. So, kids, I'm coming. Be prepared. All that's coming up on Litter Media Live. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. Full disclosure, I just had them out for our annual maintenance. And you know what? They found something that needed to be taken care of. And it saved me money because I've got what's called the Gold Plan, 25% off the labor on that. So it's worth it, folks, if you have Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing as someone that comes in and checks these things out in your home. Just a bit of advice. Take a look at that maintenance plan as well. They'll help you out. News coming up.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
We're back, and here's the headlines for the day. We've been talking about this for 2 weeks or more, trying to get you alerted to the big mega or super loads that are coming through. Well, the first one came through our area today. It started out at 7:30 this morning in Lucasville, and this picture on the right is from one of the overhead cameras that Ohio Department of Transportation have on State Route 104 at the US 35 exit ramp. And you can see at the top of the screen, that's the big load as it's turning on the 104, and it's already been through here and is on its way north. They expect it possibly to be in Pickaway County maybe sometime early this afternoon. You got to remember this thing's only going about 10 miles per hour.
Yeah. And when's the next? Do you know when the next one is?
Well, I think they're going to stop overnight in Commercial Point. Is that what it says here? No, I'm sorry. They'll go over to Rickenbacker Parkway and stop for the day. That'll be late this afternoon or early this evening. And this particular load, the first one, is going to Hebron,
right,
which is not Intel. But the majority of these, because there's more to come, will be going to the Intel plant at New Albany, Ohio. So just be prepared. More of these will be on the way in coming days.
Yeah. Gary Campbell of Washington City Schools Food Service recently presented at the 2024 Summer Summit. Campbell was selected for the panel event as Washington Courthouse City Schools and the Big Blue Bus were one of 3 showcased summer food service programs recognized as exemplary by the state of Ohio. Having served over 500,000 free meals to local children since 2019, the Big Blue Bus will hit the road for the 6th year this May.
And that's a neat program. I've seen that in action when I've been over at Washington Courthouse, like during the day. And it is a big blue school bus.
Yeah.
And they serve meals out of that. Good Samaritan Network of Ross County reports they had 1,000 new Ross County families that used the food pantry in 2023, and they expect that number to go up again this year. You can help feed your neighbor by going to their website at goodsamrossco.org. All donations will go directly to the local network to help feed Ross County. Give any amount you choose once or become a sustaining donor. For every $1 donated, Good Sam can distribute up to $4.56 in groceries. So that's a big bang for the buck, so to speak, times 4. That means a sustainable donation of $5 a month becomes $273.60 in just 1 year. I know a lot of folks in the past would bring in non-perishable food items. They don't discourage that. They just simply want you to know that if you bring in cash, it goes even farther.
Yeah. Kenworth Truck, congratulations to the Kenworth Chillicothe truck plant on 50 years of building the world's best trucks. And here's a picture of the first truck off the line, if you can see that on our Facebook page. And that was 50 years ago. Look at that.
And I was 14 years old when that happened. And the one on the bottom, of course, is current.
Yeah, probably.
Now, the big truck parade coming up this summer, I believe it's June 15th. It'll be bigger and better than, I mean, it's been pretty neat the first couple of years, but it'll even be bigger than that as they celebrate year 50 this summer.
You know, I worked there for a summer.
I don't think I knew that.
I did.
What'd you do?
I filled up the gas tanks and I greased the axles.
Well,
Yeah.
grease the skid, so to speak. How about that? Chillicothe Art League Spring Exhibition will be March 27th through April the 27th at the Pump House Center for the Arts. The opening reception, though, will be on March the 28th at 6:30 p.m.
And the annual Earth Gathering will be April 20th between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. in Yaktangi Park.
And the rain date on that, if they can't have it on the 20th, will be the following day, which would be the 21st, a Sunday. The Workforce and Business Development Program at the Community Action Committee of Pike County is continuing the recently launched webinar series Business Power Hour, Virtual Lunch and Learn Sessions, with next event taking place March 27th. That's 11 a.m. to noon. The topic of this session will be how tourism can impact your business and the economy. The expert speakers for this session will be Melody Young, Executive Director of the Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Chandler Grooms, Tourism Development Director of the Pike Chamber and Tourism Office.
As Ohioans prepare to move their clocks ahead by 1 hour on Sunday, March 10th, the Ohio Department of Commerce Division of State Fire Marshal reminds residents that now is also the time to make sure smoke alarms are in proper working order. State Fire Marshal Kevin Reardon urges residents to take a 3-step approach to fire safety. This includes 1, replacing batteries in all smoke alarms in the home, 2, testing alarms to ensure they're working properly, and 3, making sure alarms haven't exceeded the expiration date.
Do you stay up at 2 a.m. to set your clocks?
No.
Or you just set them ahead before you go to bed?
Well, I usually wait till the morning after. And then I realize that I'm living in a different time from the rest of the world, and then I fix it.
Oh, you see, I set mine ahead before going to bed. That way, when I wake up, I'm in the new time zone and I'm ready to go.
I didn't know that alarms had expiration dates.
Yeah, and probably a good thing to look, like in our house, we got into our new home in 1994. When the alarms, the plastic on the alarm started turning yellow, I thought, I probably need to just replace the whole thing. But the least you should do is change the batteries out to make sure they are working correctly. The Lancaster Community Days Festival will be held May 17th through 19th this summer, or actually this spring. That, of course, always at the Fairfield County Fairgrounds in Lancaster. So mark that on your calendar, May 17th through 19th.
Ohio Department of Insurance Director Judith L. French warns Ohioans on Medicare to watch for fraudulent Medicare claims made with their Medicare numbers for medical supplies, most notably urinary catheters, back and knee braces, and glucose monitors. The scammers are using individuals' Medicare numbers and fraudulently billing Medicare, oftentimes thousands of dollars per fraudulent claim.
And full disclosure, I'll have to start paying attention to that this coming November when I turn 65.
Old man.
Medicare age. How about that? So there you go. A lot of news to tell you about. We've got some sports as well. All that coming up on Litter Media Live. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, so give Carl a call, 253-8389. They will bring out one of those big orange dumpsters. You can have it for a day, a week, 2 weeks, whatever you need to work out. Carl can quote you the rates. Free estimates. Give them a call today. Sportsnet.
Our financial lives have never been more complex, and some decisions just can't wait, which is why our K&B Mobility app gives you instant access to the financial tools you need wherever you are. Get a clear picture of all of your accounts, check your daily transactions, receive account alerts, and much more. So no matter where you are or what you are doing, you can make the best decisions for you and your financial goals. Download our Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
At Rathkamp Financial, we offer customized investment solutions and superior client service. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
A look at sports for you today. We'll begin with Thursday tournament scores. Girls basketball Division IV regional semi at Pickerington North. Berlin Highland gets a win over Portsmouth Notre Dame, 58-23. Waterford gets a win over Newark Catholic, 53-42, and that's Newark Catholic's only loss on the season.
Yeah, Waterford, who was a state champ a few years ago, a good chance to get back to the state tournament, but Highland is very tough. Here's what's on tap tonight in high school tournament basketball. Tonight and tomorrow, since we're only doing the daily show weekdays, we'll give you tomorrow's schedule as well. Tonight, girls Division II regional championship at Zanesville has Fairland taking on Sheridan, so we're guaranteed a Southeast District team in the state tournament. Boys Division IV district championship at the Convo has South Webster Trimble, followed by Fairfield out of Leesburg against Federal Hocking. Division IV district boys championship at Ohio Dominican, Lancaster Fisher Catholic takes on Shekinah Christian. Now, tomorrow, as you see on the schedule, Division III Regional Girls Championship at Logan, Portsmouth against North Adams. Again, a scenario that'll have a Southeast District team heading to the Final Four. We've already talked about Waterford Highland. Boys Division II District Championship tomorrow at the Convo. And as we told you on the pregame show yesterday, there's some news times here for the boys at the Convo. At noon in Division III, the District 3 championship has Minford North Adams at noon. That is a new time for Minford and North Adams people. The sandwich game in between is Division 2 at 2 o'clock, Warren, New Lexington. Then at 4 o'clock, they'll jump back to Division 3 with Wheelersburg taking on Northwest. You can follow all of those scores tonight and tomorrow on Litter X, formerly known as Twitter, and our littermedia.com score page. Also, great news for Chillicothe High School graduate Javon Moffmer. He has been named the Great Midwest Player of the Year in his senior season at Cedarville University. He's been the Player of the Week once or twice, I think, in his career. Has had an outstanding senior season. Javon and his family, we congratulate them on that big honor.
State wrestling tournament opens today at 1 o'clock at the Schottenstein Center. I think we have over 24 area athletes participating in that tournament. So look out for littermedia.com score page for results on that.
And when it's all over, said and done, we'll have an article that covers it all. But a lot of stuff, probably retweets from OHSAA and so forth over the weekend. Piketon and Waverly High School baseball came together to help raise over $700 for the Zach Farmer Scholarship Fund here over the last couple of days. That's the head coach, Coach Noble, on the far right there. And on the left, Piketon's head coach. So congratulations to both of those, actually Pike County rivals, getting together to do that. So Zach, who no longer is with us, he passed away of cancer at a very young age. An all-Ohioan at Piketon High School, great pitcher, went on and played for the Ohio State Buckeye baseball team before he lost his battle with cancer a few years back. The plaque honoring former Huntington coach Rick Bethel has finally been erected at the Merle Shoemaker Athletic Complex, which now bears Rick's name on the track. And Rick was he was a coach in an era where, one person coached almost everything. He was a volleyball coach, basketball coach, track coach. I think the only thing that I'm aware of, I don't think he ever coached baseball at Huntington. But he did just about everything else.
Yeah.
But an honor well deserved.
And was there ever a doubt?
Woohoo!
Blue Jackets get a win over the Edmonton Oilers 4-2.
Congratulations, Blue Jackets.
Hopefully this is the beginning of a new trend for the Blue Jackets.
Do you really believe that?
I do. I believe it in my whole heart.
Yeah. We're going to stick with a sports theme as we close out on this date in history going back to 1971. All that coming up on Litter Media Live.
Litter Quality Propane, custom tank colors and wraps. Find out how a propane tank can be beautiful at litterpropane.com.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
It's time to get serious about your lawn. It's time to step up to the best mower brand money can buy. For nearly 4 decades, Skag has been the easy choice for lawn care professionals. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best when it comes to mowing your lawn. There's sure to be a Skag model that's perfect for your yard, big or small. Make your lawn the envy of the neighborhood. Visit your local Skag dealer today. Skag, simply the best.
Staying with a sports theme on our This Date in History, taking you back to 1971. I can remember this.
I can't.
I can remember this. Back in those days, heavyweight prize fights were on the radio.
Yeah.
Live. Now you can't see or hear them unless you're paying a bazillion bucks to watch it. But on this date in 1971, they called it the Fight of the Century at Madison Square Garden. Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier meet for the heavyweight title. The bout marked Ali's return to the marquee 3.5 years after boxing commissions revoked his license over his refusal to fight in the Vietnam War. He was a conscientious objector. It was also Ali's first chance to win back the heavyweight championship, which had been stripped from him by the World Boxing Association. Now, Joe Frazier won that fight. But the next 2 times they fought, Ali beat him both times.
There we go.
And if you've ever seen the Rocky movies, you know how badly Apollo and Rocky's faces were all beat up.
Yeah.
That's what these fights always look like at the end.
Well, Apollo Creed was kind of based on Muhammad Ali, wasn't he?
Yes. Yeah. Very boisterous in his style. Kind of, the dance like a butterfly, sting like a bee. But yeah, and Joe Frazier was just to put your head down. I'm coming after you, kind of like Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
Only Rocky was Caucasian, and Joe Frazier, of course, is African American. Both of those fellows, Joe and Muhammad, have passed away. But that was in the days where heavyweight boxing was probably at its zenith. I'm not talking about necessarily money-wise, but popularity-wise, because everybody was curious to know what was going on. I remember my mom telling a story about the late Joe Louis, who they referred to as the Brown Bomber. He held the World Heavyweight Championship, I think, for 12 years, from the late 30s into, the late 40s. He lost to Max Schmeling, who was a German fighter. And this was when Hitler was first coming into power, and we weren't in the war yet. Well, there wasn't a war, I think, that was in 36, I think, the first time that they met. But the tensions were starting to rise, with Jesse Owens in the 36 Olympics and so forth. And Schmeling beat Joe Louis the first time they fought. Well, in the rematch, which I think was in 37 or 38, there was a lot of hype around that fight.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom talking about Grandpa and her brothers went out to milk the cows thinking they could get back in time to hear the fight on the radio. And a neighbor even came over to the house to listen to the fight because he didn't have a radio. Joe Louis knocked him out in the first round. So when the boys came back in, they said, what's up with the fight? And the neighbor said, my grandpa was Charlie. He said, Charlie, it's over. And he said, no, really, what's going on? He said, no, he knocked him out in the first round. I think it was 30 or 40 seconds into the first round, he knocked him out.
I remember when I was in college, I had a friend that was a big UFC fan, and there was a Conor McGregor fight coming up that everybody was making a huge deal about, and I never really watched a fight before. So he was like, you got to sit down and watch this fight with me. It was over in less than 10 seconds. Conor McGregor just kicked this dude in the face, and he was out.
Wow. So, and the neat thing, after World War II, of course, Schmeling was used as a puppet by Hitler, prior to the war. But after World War II, Max Schmeling and Joe Louis became friends.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Joe Louis fell on some hard financial times, some unfortunate things, came his way. But I think Max Schmeling was one of the guys that helped him financially later in life. So just kind of a neat ending to what was a big brawl, so to speak, in the boxing ring.
Yeah.
Movie-wise, anything this weekend as we go to the flicks?
I saw Dune 2 last weekend, and let me tell you, it was awesome. I highly recommend it. See it on the biggest screen you can.
I thought you told me, I thought I asked you. Oh, you were saying, I asked you about the first one, and you said it was a waste of time, or you didn't see it. Or
You asked if I'd seen the original 80s movie, and I have not.
Okay. But
I haven't heard good things about that one.
You haven't heard
But the newer ones, the 2021 movie, and then the one that's out right now, are great.
Gotcha. Went to see all 3 segments of the Chosen for season 4, so got that off my bucket list. My wife couldn't go with me for episodes 7 and 8 because she had a club volleyball tournament somewhere, and she was, you went without me? And I said, well, honey, the last time we went, you fell asleep. But this one's only 2.5 hours as opposed to the other ones, which were 3 episodes that lasted 3.5 hours. So just to be prepared. I think it's got one more week in the theaters before they put all of them out on the, I don't know, what is it, the Chosen app or whatever you can get?
I thought they were on Peacock or something.
Well, they're showing some of the previous seasons. I've not heard that about if season 4 is on Peacock, but they always have them on the Chosen app.
Okay.
That's where I saw the first 3 episodes, and then my daughter got me a DVD, or not a DVD, CD. Do they call them that anymore? Is that
a Blu-ray?
No, I don't have Blu-ray.
It was a DVD then.
Just a DVD, yeah. I don't have the DVD player.
VCR?
No, that's really old. I have one that's a combination DVD player and VHS, but
Betamax?
The VHS.
Laserdisc?
The tapes are so old and stretched out. It's kind of like when you put them in, it's like, what color is that on the screen? So I don't even use those anymore. So, well, that's going to wrap it up. I'll be out on Monday, back on Tuesday. Dan is on assignment today. And we just hope that you'll have a great weekend, but a little bit of rain in the forecast today and tomorrow if you need to be out and about. So until that time, for Dan Ramey and Aaron Glandon, this is Mike saying so long from all of us at Litter Media Live.